Shalom. I'm waiting for some more people to get in here. Then I'll start the lesson. Give me a second. Shalom. This lesson is going to be on gaming. And if you do it in excess, it's a sin. All right, I want to start off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, We'll do that over. I'm going to start off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Quadash. Peace and blessings to the hope of the elect, and double honors to the elders, prophets, and teachers of GMS who rule well. Now, like I said in the beginning, this lesson is going to be referring to gaming. And if done in excess, it is a sin. Flip my camera around. Get to my first verse. All right. First verse I'm going to go to is the book of Psalms. Psalms 83 and 2. All right, now this is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Now, Yahweh's people are Israel, and those hidden ones are Israel, right? So Esau Edom, the so-called YT man, when he developed gaming, he had a plan set to make it as addicting as possible. And that's what he did. And he was successful in everything that he did. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. The book of Ephesians 5. We're going to go to verse 18. Right? All right. Now, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 18. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess. That key word is excess. Anything done in excess is a sin. It can be considered a sin because that would be gluttony. But be filled with the Spirit, right? So do not do anything in excess, whether that be drinking, even sex in excess could be a sin if you're leaning onto it constantly. All right, we're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 16. And if any of the Akim in here and they got precepts, you can throw them in there. 25 and 16. So 16. Right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 16. Hast thou found honey? Hast thou found honey? Salakia. Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit. Just like we said with the last verse, man. Anything in excess is going to be a sin, right? You got to take in what's sufficient. So everything has to have a balance. If you don't have a balance, you're off and you're in sin, right? We gonna get that. Watch. This is the book of Proverbs. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 11. All right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. A false balance is an abomination. If you're indulging in too much of something, that is a false balance, and it's an abomination unto Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, and the name of his son is Yahweh Shai. So make sure if you put anything in this comment section, don't be putting Jesus and shit, because that's not his name. See something. Slocky. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Let's continue. Now let's get in. I got some articles set aside to show you that gaming was designed, right, to be addicting. This is from Brain and Life. The article is how do video games affect the brain development in children and teens? Gotta find what I need right here. Right? We'll start right here. A study published in the scientific journal Nature in 1998 showed that playing video games released the feel-good neurotransmitter dopamine. This is very important right here. Dopamine. The amount of dopamine released while playing video games was similar to what is seen after intravenous injections of the stimulant drugs amphetamine and methylphenidate, right? And those are highly addictive, and I think they're used to treat ADHD. Right? There was something else I needed from this article. All right. Playing video games. I'm reading this one right here, this section. Playing video games floods the pleasure center of the brain with dopamine, says David Greenfield, PhD, founder of the Central for Internet and Technology Addiction, and assistant clinical professor in the site I don't know how to say that fucking word, man. Charity at the University of Connecticut School of Medicine that gives gamers a rush, but only temporarily, he explains. With all extra dopamine lurking around, the brain gets the message to produce less of the critical neurotransmitter. The end result, players can end up with diminished supply of dopamine. And what that's going to do when your dopamine levels are diminished, right? That's going to cause your body to crave more. And that's what makes it addicting. Right? You're going to grab another article. And this is what Esau Edom does, man. They know it's addicting, yet they want to connect learning with the game, right? Go and get the section that I need. Right here, dopamine. Right? Along with endorphins, dopamine is a feel-good hormone that released in the prefrontal cortex when we feel pleasure, right? This could mean food, sex, laughter, or watching cats on YouTube. A study found that the levels of dopamine doubled when gamers play video games. So Esau Edom, they knew what they was doing. When they created these video games, they understood that they can make this very addicting. The dopamine levels doubled when gamers play video games. This means the gameplay has the power to be chemically addictive. Right? This goes back to what we said before, man. Now let's that's that's the spirit. That's the spirit. That was my one of my precepts that I was gonna go into. I'm gonna grab another article. That's the spirit. I'm gonna grab it in just a second. And all these articles, they're going to focus on dopamine, right? Because that's what they're using to get people hooked. And they're mainly targeting children. That's who's really, they want the children to develop this, they want the children to develop an addiction at an early age. And if they can get your kids addicted on video games nice and early, it'll be easier for them to be addicted to other things later on in life. And that's what they target. Slocky, I'm trying to find what section it's at. Dang. It might be it up there. Okay, it's right here. Right? I'm gonna start at the top. This is how does dopamine reinforce drug use, right? The feeling of pleasure is how a healthy brain identifies and reinforces beneficial behaviors such as eating, socializing, and sex. Our brains are wired to increase the odds that we will repeat pleasurable activities, right? The neurotransmitter dopamine is central to this. Salakia. Whenever the reward circuit is activated by a healthy, pleasurable experience, a burst of dopamine signals that something important is happening. And we all know that playing video games ain't necessarily important, but your brain, this flesh is weak, so it's going to crave carnal, the carnal things. Right? Pleasurable experience, a burst of dopamine signals that something important is happening that needs to be remembered. This dopamine signal, Shalom, Mark. This dopamine signal causes changes in the neural connectivity that make it easier to repeat the activity again and again without thinking about it, leading to the information of its habits. Yo, I'm going to repeat that again. Neural connectivity that make it easier to repeat the activity again and again without thinking about it, right? So this is the way, like I said in the beginning, this is the way that Esau Edom designed this, man. And I'm a testament to this because, back in the day, I was heavy in the gaming scene, man. Back in around, I don't know if you guys have played Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghosts. Some of y'all probably played it. I was definitely addicted to that joint. Right? I'm going to grab another one. Right? This is from National Geographic, Gaming Disorder, the Rise of the 21st Century Epidemic. Shalom, Mike. Let's see, get the section that I need. And all this is proven, man, that video games, that Esau Edom designed these things to be highly addictive, and it was designed to target your children. He got a lot to pay for. They already highlighted it for me. That's what's up. We gonna do it right here, right? As with drug addictions, video gaming releases dopamine into the brain. The dopamine habituates, so you need more to achieve the baseline that gives you satisfaction. You need more. That's that addictive. That's an addiction. Lockwood explains all this can result in a psychological problem such as anxiety, depression, ADHD, low self-esteem, and social phobia. And that's big right here, man. Because I suffer from anxiety and social phobia, man. I'm gonna just be honest and say it. That's something that I suffer from, especially in high school, and that's when I played the most. Like I was pushing to try to be a pro player, and that was back when I was in the world, though. I'm not tripping on no video games anymore, man. I still play from time to time. Now, I'm not saying that video games is a sin. I'm saying that in excess it's a sin, right? If you're indulging in it too much. Now let's get that Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16 that Diog brought out. This is beautiful precept. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. And they caused many to fall when they made these video games as addicting as they did, man. Khan, anything in excess leads to sin because you become gluttonous. Khan. And that's what I said in the beginning of the lesson. Anything in excess is gluttony. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it be sex, because that's included in that. That's the reason they have what is Sex Anonymous? Sex could be in excess, it could be a sin. Gaming, food, drinking, you would be a drunkard. All of it is a sin in excess, man. You gotta have a just balance, just like it says in Slop. Oh, yeah. All right, my bad. I don't know if y'all do any of y'all see those white sticks that they created back in the day. Yeah, Proverbs 11:1. Yeah, my brain froze for a second. I'll go grab it. I literally just read this. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. So a false balance is an abomination, man. You need to have a balance of everything, right? What I do when I game, if I put any time in the gaming, man, I take that time and I double it, and that's what I use that time I use to study whenever I have my gaming sessions, man. So if I'm gonna spend an hour on the game, I'm gonna spend 2 with Yahweh, and that's how it should be. Now, anybody remember those little white sticks that came out, man? Let me see. Yeah, I know I looked it up earlier. These right here. These little white sticks. Y'all know these was made to get kids on cigarettes, before they were actually old enough to get them. That's why they created these to look like this. They're in a cigarette box. They are shaped like cigarettes. This was made to get kids hooked on cigarettes before, they were even able to buy the shits, man. That's why Esau Edom, they got a lot to pay for. Yeah, you wanted those as a kid. Con. And they use these to get kids, get their attention on the cigarettes. That's why you had a huge epidemic of high schoolers and middle schoolers smoking. Like, we had that bad in my middle school and high school. Kids was smoking like left and right. And I believe that this had a good deal to do with it. It taught kids that it was cool. And then they were counterproductive by doing the DARE program. I don't know if any of y'all remember the DARE program. Those of you who are in Babylon, how you gonna release the DARE program, right? And then release this to kids. That's crazy. And it gets worse because they had worse shit than that. I'm gonna get that. The book of Psalms, chapter 37. Let's grab that. Book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. And this is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass, right? And those wicked devices, those are your video games. Those are those little fucking candies I showed you. These little devil sticks. All of this, man. These are his wicked devices. This is to get these kids, to tear them down. And he started at the he started with the kids. He did the same. Most people don't realize he did the same thing in slavery, man. He targeted the kids. If he could, actually, no, Slakia, my bad. He targeted the women, and then the women, they went to the kids. But that has always been his target, the children, right? And I'm gonna touch on something real quick, man, because this is something that I used to do that I stopped myself from doing, after I got some more understanding and realized that I was going off. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. Now, this is pertaining to fasting, right? When you're fasting, there's certain things you're not supposed to be doing, things of the pleasure of the flesh, right? This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. This is going into sex. But this can be applied to anything that causes pleasure, right? Especially when sex releases the same chemical that gaming does. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. So when you're fasting, you're not supposed to be going into your lady, right? So if you're not supposed to be going into your lady when you're fasting, you think you're supposed to be doing anything else of pleasure when you're fasting? You're supposed to take that time to study, go into the scriptures, go look at a lesson. You might understand something a little bit better when you're in a state of fasting than you will, just watching the video on your own. Fasting is going to bring you closer to Yahweh and get you in that spiritual state of mind. So you don't need to be spending that time on the game. Plus, like we just said, when you playing, man, that dopamine's gonna kick in, and next thing you know, you're gonna be playing for hours on end. Sometimes without realizing that. I used to play, like back in the day when I used to play. I would say that I'm only gonna play for a couple hours, right? Next thing you know, I'm playing for it's like 6-7 hours past. My wife's coming to tell me like, hey man, you've been on the game for a while. And I'll look her right in the face and be like, I ain't been on the game that long. Look at the clock, and it's 6-7 hours in the past, and I'm still playing. And to be honest, did I get back off? Did I get off? No, I didn't. I kept playing for like another 2-3 hours. I was bugging out. That shit's addicting, man. It's not a game. And I used to play. My sessions used to be with my friends. They used to be fucking hours at a time because we was all pushing for the same thing. Top streamer, top player in the tournaments and shit like that. Like, nah, man, that shit's of the world. Get away from it. And like I said, anything in excess is gonna be a sin. So you don't want to be in that state where you're constantly repeating this over and over again. My thing is, whenever I get urges to play the game, and I truly feel like I shouldn't be playing the game at that time, the spirit hops on me, man. I go watch a video. I go distract myself with a video of the elders, and that's way more edifying than sitting there on the game for an hour. I'd rather watch a 2-hour video of the elder, than to hop on the game for a fucking hour. Like, I don't want to do that to myself. Now I do indulge from time to time, but nowhere near as bad as I used to. And to give you an idea of it, like I said, I played Call of Duty. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Ghost, right? When I played Ghost, I went from when I actually buckled down and wanted to play it and wanted to be pro. I went from I think it was like rank 1.4 million in the world to rank 998 within 3 months for team deathmatch. Because that's what I played to get my reaction time up and all of that shit. But I went from rank 1,400,000 to rank 998 in 3 months. And that's dedicated. There's times where I played 10 hours in a day. And that's with working. That's with working. That's working an 8-hour shift, coming home, gaming all night, just to sleep for like 2-3 hours and go back to work and repeat the same shit over again. That's what I was doing. And I don't know if I could show you just to, as a test. Blocking. Oh, shoot. All right, my bad. I ended up pausing it. I can't show you right now. But some of my scores that I had was ridiculous. Just as a testament to how much I was playing. Most people who play, they game, they understand. Yeah, I get it. I used to be in Ghost and Pool. I think the kill limit for Ghost in Team Deathmatch was like 75. I would pull in upwards to 30 plus kills every single game. There wasn't a game that went past that I didn't get at least 30. And that took a lot of playing to get there on that level, right? So we don't, slug. Let me grab that precept for the Ock. I could even play any game all. No, it took a lot of hours to get to that level. It took a lot. Way too many. And after looking back, I look back at how I was back then, and that's all I could do is just shake my head, man. That's all I can do. And I thank Yahweh that he brought me out of that kind of lifestyle, because I would have been heading down a very dangerous path if I would have stayed on that, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 9. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. That's beautiful precept. Because that goes into what I just said. Yahweh delivering me, right? Out of that sin I was in, man. We the best at everything. It don't matter. Sports, video games, and anything we touch, man. Anything. We even some of the smartest. We some of the smartest people, man. Most of the knowledge was created by Jake. Most of the inventions that Esau Edom is lying that they created, Jake actually did it. They just stole the blueprints, man. And a lot of people might be a lot of people you might think is Esau Edom, they're actually Jake. A lot of those people who did those inventions, if the ones who actually did it, they was probably Jake. Because you can't judge off skin color alone. And if you thinking that we judging off skin color alone, you tripping. Skin color has nothing to do with it. And we figure out who Jake is, not based on skin color, but based on the spirit. You got to test that spirit. Are people made the video game cartridge? I didn't even know that. Dang. No, they ain't got no type of juice. They ain't got no type of rhythm, no type of juice, no type of nothing. They are done. They're through. And that's why their kingdom is falling the way that it is now, man. Their women even turning on them. You know how many videos I've seen on this damn app where the so-called YT woman is all over Jake, putting down Esau, putting down the men of their nation. A lot of these YT women, they can't wait for this. They secretly can't wait for this nation to fall. Cause they gonna run straight to Jake. Watch. Especially when shit hits the fan. These women ain't stupid. They're gonna know who the men of the Lord are. They're gonna know. Just like the scripture says, the wisdom maketh your face to shine, man. So these women are gonna see they're gonna see you, and they're gonna know. They're gonna know that man got knowledge. That man's protected. I need to get up under him. That's how it's gonna be, man. But let me grab that real quick for the Ock, and then I'm I'm gonna be closing out. So I gotta get ready to head to the stores before they get too crowded. I don't like being around people. Like I just said, I'm socially awkward, man. So I try to go to the stores as soon as they open, man. Get my shit done and get the hell out of there. I don't like being around people. Khan. This is why Khan. Let's see your pie. Isaiah, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. I'm going to grab another one. Yeah, I'm bringing out some beautiful precepts. So I think that's in the... Oh, what the fuck am I doing? 7. And 10. All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 10. I loved her above health and beauty, and I chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. And that's wisdom, man. That's wisdom. That's your pop. But the water for all the Akim and Aquath that tuned in for this quick lesson going over video games. Now remember, do it in excess. I mean, damn. Don't do it as a slip of the tongue. Don't do it in excess, you know. And for whatever time you put into the game, you know, try to double that and put that back into Yahweh, man. And make sure you make that a practice every day. And then I promise you, eventually, you're gonna get to the point where I get to the point nowadays where I don't even want to play the game no more, man. Right? Khan, we made the light bulb. Khan. That's what I was just talking about earlier. But like I said, the water for everybody coming in, and appreciate it. And hopefully this lesson was edifying. And with that, shalom.